Alright, so y'all, LakerFan here. As y'all can see by the title of today's video, let's talk about the playmaking shot creator in NBA 2K22 Next Gen. So for years, this build title has been super good, from 2K20 to 2K21 to 2K22. And as we all know, it's a relatively short build. It epitomizes the ability to dribble and shoot the ball, sometimes pass the ball, but as a lot of y'all know, some of these dudes would be straight ball hogs with it. And then on top of all that, now they actually have good defense in this game as well. So we're here to talk about all of this in today's video. I hope y'all enjoy. If you do, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all good stuff, and like always, tries 1 to 1,000 likes. So this form of the playmaking shot creator, in my opinion, is by far the best one you can make. It has elite defense, elite shooting, elite playmaking. Obviously has very subpar finishing, but with 40 driving dunk, you unlock the CJ McCollum dunk package. You can still dunk the ball when you're wide open. It really prevents you from getting chased down in a lot of situations. We have maxed out physicals and pretty much everything that matters. The only thing this build is lacking is rebounding, interior defense, and maybe jump contest on the perimeter. However, the lack of finishing isn't exactly felt by a lot of these players who use it. The ability to get these three-pointers and zigzag around the perimeter is so elite to the point where you having no finishing isn't even that much of a crutch or that much of a problem, where if you're a defender and you know your opponent doesn't have any finishing to him, in other games you maybe could just run him off the three-point line, lead him into the paint, and then play for chase down blocks, which in this game, chase down blocks are also very good. But in this game, it does seem that the defense doesn't have the speed to keep up with the offense, and making a lockdown at 5'9" is just unrealistic. So to even match the speed for your build of you as a defender is unrealistic in the sense of trying to match it for the offensive player, where the offensive player is always going to have a higher speed with ball than the defender probably has speed, as well as maybe perimeter defense as well. Perimeter defense is a different topic, but we're here to talk about just straight up speed, someone sprinting to the right and you having to keep up with him. And then on top of all of that, you still have 99 three-pointer that you still have to get a contest on as a defensive player with badges like blinders, mismatch expert, all types of things that can help you shoot from range. Obviously these badges aren't too crazy good, but then we have things that help you hit open as well. So hot zone hunter, we have sniper, stop and pop. All these badges just total up. We even have badges like Deadeye too. And then all of these badges total up to just being really hard to contest as a guard, and having them all on the Hall of Fame level just doubles down on it even more. For having 98 three-pointer, you literally get Hall of Fame Deadeye and Hall of Fame blinders, as well as again, just all different types of badges. As you can see, Hall of Fame hot zone hunters unlocked at 97 three-pointer or 96 mid-range. But either way, having this 99 three-pointer is super elite. You rarely ever miss wide open and you can still hit like 30% contest. And in this game, it's very hard to get those contests in the first place. Now, you guys know I've uploaded a couple videos. We've been doing the No Money Spent series as well, where I'm playing on 65 overalls and below, and still guarding some players who do have these elite offensive guards. However, that is with the help of my team and me working with my two teammates in terms of all working together to stop that one player. However, we do have a couple other videos too on how to stop left right cheese, where we're on our maxed out builds and it's a lot more of an easier time to do. But either way, I do know that not everybody on this game is a complete sweat like me, or has a full squad of maybe like 10 to 15 people that they could hit up and reliably play with and know that they're not going to get sold out by those people. Now to backtrack real quick, I do want to place a little bit of blame on this build on the Myplayer builder itself, where it allows you to have 99 three-pointer, still have 99 ball handle, still have 97 perimeter defense and steal, still have 96 speed, acceleration, stamina, all this stuff. You can see pretty much every attribute rating on this build is maxed out through the roof, and then it has complete weaknesses in other aspects as well, where it has literally nothing on driving layup, 25. It still has post control, standing dunk, all on 25. Close shot is still extremely low, driving dunk's extremely low. You still have everything to do with on the interior, whether it's interior D or block or rebounding, at the complete minimum. You have vertical at the complete minimum. So realistically, you would think there would be some good and some bad to this build, but with the way that you can play with this on 3v3, the weaknesses barely glare at all, where it's not really going to hurt you to have no block rating or rebound. You can have other people on your team help with the rebounding. You could have other people deal with the interior defense. You can run rotations, all types of stuff like that. Again, you don't need finishing on this build because it makes up for the fact that you have crazy three-pointer and crazy ability to get yourself open. And then if anybody's getting the ball in the paint, it's probably your big man off a pick and roll slip or something like that, or a corner cut, or whatever the case may be. Or they might just be respecting your three-pointer so hard to the point where you get a free dunk all the time. You guys have probably seen it on 1v1 court where people might have even just 90 three-pointer and they're on a 6'3" guard or something like that, and they have 65 to 70 driving dunk for the quick drops off one, and maybe have silver limitless takeoff as well at like 74, and it's impossible to defend them. I mean, when you can just hunt for three-pointers all day and people have to respect your three so hard to the point where you get a free dunk, at that point if you're someone who does invest a lot into driving dunk and you're a true slasher, you're just giving someone free dunks while you're fighting for contested dunks. So realistically, I do want to place a lot of blame on this build's ability on the Myplayer builder itself, where it allowed for this to be a thing. On current gen, you have things like pie charts that really restrict certain builds. Things like Playmaking-Shot creators don't even get the ability to have any driving dunk if they wanted it, and obviously they do lack defense a whole lot more than this build as well. And the premise of it still stays the same though. It's all about three-pointer, ball handle, speed with ball. If you were to place 3 ratings on a certain thing that's extremely important for these types of builds, it's literally gonna be those things right there, where you can just carry the offense with this build. Now, another thing I do want to talk about with this as well, not everybody can play as a Playmaking-Shot creator. I think us as a community, we need to really acknowledge that for a second and just think about me being on a Playmaking-Shot creator. The more I think about it, can I do that if I were to hop on this? Maybe with time, yes, but to just hop on it and think that it takes no skill to do and that anybody can do it, that's insane to think in the first place. I mean, realistically, I know a lot of us out there who have never touched a point guard build, like myself, very rarely in the last few years. I did used to play it a ton back in like 2K17 and before, but in the late few years, I haven't really hopped on many point guard builds, and I can be realistic with myself and say that I will not be able to hop on a Playmaking-Shot creator like this and dominate the same way that my point guards do. So long story short, what I'm getting at here, let's stop with all that no skill talk. Obviously, there is something to it where somebody is doing something way better than the other person or yourself can do it in the first place. Now, I'm not trying to let these guys off the hook entirely and say that what they do is hard to do. When they're good at the game and do what they do, this game has blessed them in that play style. Whereas for me, let's say I'm a slasher or something like that, right? What I'm doing actually takes a ridiculous amount of skill this year, and I love it too because I am shining with that as well. I love what I'm able to do with the 99 driving dunk, but let's just be realistic with it. They added the contact dunk meter, which is really shining in terms of allowing elite slashers to really be elite slashers, and it's no longer just animation based. You're actually timing the dunk meter, and you have to do it in a very hard way because there's delays to the meter. There's also just the variance of the animation, so it's never the same timing like a jump shot would be in the first place, and it's actually pretty difficult to do, and those who are doing it at an elite level, they really shine through. However, 2K22 Next Gen is arguably probably the easiest year ever to be a Playmaking-Shot creator, second to 2K21 Current Gen, where that game was just ridiculous with the speed boost glitch and the people just using play shots like that. But anyway, like I said, if this fits your play style, and this is why I wanted to bring up that whole slasher thing, because if you are a slasher and that's your play style, this is arguably one of the hardest years for you to do so if you have been kind of crutching on the animations doing things for you. Whereas if you are able to adjust and adapt to it, it's actually showing that you can shine through with your skill, as opposed to other years where it's more animation based and it's more just about dribbling. This year, with the Playmaking-Shot creators, I do feel it's probably the easiest ever besides 21 Current Gen to actually do those things related to it and be able to dribble, be able to get yourself open from 3, hit 3-pointers in the first place. 99 3-pointer with all those shooting badges that we mentioned. It's ridiculous how easy it is to do. And again, it's not for me to say that I'm going to hop on there and shoot 80%, but if you're an experienced player and you've been playing point guard, you guys know exactly what I'm saying. It's very cake for these guards out here. Pretty much everybody looks like they're good, even if they're not. And realistically, as defenders, we just aren't getting a lot of love this year. Ankle braces is probably one of the best badges in the game in terms of stopping yourself from getting tight handled, but even at that, things like clamps don't see the ability that they used to in 2K20. The last time that I would say we actually had great defense in a game, where clamps used to boost your lateral quickness. Now it doesn't. All it's good for is cutoffs and pretty much just bumping people you're defending and stuff like that. Menace, a new badge that I thought was going to be a really good addition, just doesn't see a lot of utility. It's only good for forcing people to pick the ball up or going for double teams and stuff like that. I thought this was going to be really giving people a problem in terms of dropping their ball handle rating, getting more pluck steals, which it low-key probably did, but then they nerfed the pluck steals as well, which I think was a right thing to do. I don't think that's the right way of treating defense, like that's the thing that you should be crutching on. I think people should have to play good defense, but the problem with it is if there's no actual good defense in the game, then how are you expecting people to do so if you take the one thing out of the game that actually was good with the steals? So then when you really look through it and try to figure out which of these defensive badges actually has any utility and what it's actually good for, I would say the only things that are actually good are probably interior defensive badges like Rim Protector, Intimidator. You do have things like Chase Down Artist, which I would call an interior defense badge, but obviously it's kind of related to defending the perimeter and allowing you to actually defend the interior off of defending the perimeter. Whatever the case may be, you guys get what I'm saying. But anyway, I would say really the only 2 good badges in the game on defense this year, it would have to be Chase Down Artist and Rim Protector. Pretty much simple as that. Now, you could make the case for Interceptor, but that's obviously an off-ball defensive badge. It's not helping you defend these Playmaking-Shot creators. A lot of times, these people aren't really passing the ball around or anything like that, and they're just keeping it in the point guard's hands 24/7. And It's really simple as that. So interceptor doesn't really see a lot of utility in helping you defend them unless you're fronting the corner. I've talked about that in the how to defend left right cheese video and how we play corner defense, hedge defense, all types of stuff like that on these guys. And I've seen a couple of the comments under 2K Labs videos too on maybe how to defend the left right cheese as well. And the majority of the comments have been saying things along the lines of, it's ridiculous that people have to develop strategies to defending one person or defend a one type of play style in the park of all places as well. Me personally, I feel like it does add a little bit of layers to this game. I'm really enjoying playing defense and I like the challenge of it. And I think a lot of people just need to take the game a little bit less seriously, to be completely honest with you guys. I take it very seriously in terms of trying to strategize and be better at it, but I don't take losses so personally, and I feel like a lot of people need to just take their L's a little bit easier. I know it's a little bit hypocritical coming from me. I'm obviously someone that has a 91 win percentage, play with other playmaking shot creators like this 5'9 right here, or even a 5'7 with Kitchen and AK, and my thing is, I want these builds to take skill. I want my boys to shine through and really show that they're one of the best guards in the game, and I really want them to just stand out from other guards who maybe are just made by this game or 2K21 current gen. And you know, realistically, my boys have been doing it all the way back to like 2K17, 2K16, and doing it consistently like that. And my problem with all this is, as well as a big man, when the point guards are so unguardable, it becomes very annoying for me to play, where back in 2K20, the point guards would be hitting me on the slips or rolls whenever I do so, because points were points and points were very valuable. It wasn't very easy to just get points on any given occasion. Whereas in 2K21 current gen, next gen, 2K22 current gen, next gen, it's all just so point guard heavy, and these guys are just firing up 3-pointers, and I'm pretty much just the role-playing big man who doesn't even do anything half the time in the park. So from my perspective, I want this to take skill. I want it to be hard to get offensive points, and I would like when defense is very good, because A, it makes it way more fun for me when I'm able to just like win or lose a game on how I play defense, as well as the fact that, like I said, when I'm as a big man and I'm hitting those pick and roll slips, or if you're an outside big man, you're hitting the pick and pop slips and you're getting yourself open, I really like the fact that bigs get involved in games that actually require a lot of defense. So long story short, let's stop complaining. Let's just talk about where we're at with this game and with this build. I would say the best way of defending it, we've talked about it in videos, I'm going to summarize it. You want to push them to the corners, you want to trap them in there and take away 90% of the court. When you trap them in the corner, it's allowing you to just make them only go to one area, and you're boxing them in and you're taking away that ball hand side. Now, they can hit you with the blinders. I do recommend playing very tightly while doing so, of what I'm talking about right here. You can play for bump steals when they come back out the corner as well. And then on top of that too, you need help from your defenders, whether the corners, the hedge defender, whatever the case may be. You need them to be fronting the corner, giving up back doors. Teams like this that have these play shots out here that are super dominant, they love to fire off those 3-pointers. They live and die by the 3. It's as simple as that. And they hate hitting the slips, they hate hitting the cuts, they hate hitting all types of stuff like that. So if you can front the corners, take away that corner shot still by playing the passing lane, but give your on-ball defender some help if he gets beat, and then you can jump out and step out, or you can bait him a little bit as well. I think a lot of people undervalue corner defense and hedge defense in this game. They think it's all about on-ball defense. That's not the case. You can make a huge impact playing off-ball defense in this game, whether that's 2v2, 3v3, pro-am, whatever the case may be. And where are we at with this overall? I would say, if I could say one thing to 2K right now, it's that defense needs a buff. A lot of people are just frustrated with playing this game because it requires so much focus on defense. Now, don't get me wrong, like I said, I step up to the plate for that challenge. I love it. I love doing so. I love learning how to play better defense, and I think that's something that other people could maybe take from this as well. But on top of that, like I said, not a lot of people like doing that stuff. And once again, I want to go back to 2K20 to reference a game that has really good balance. In one hand, you have offense. In one hand, you have defense. Which is better? It was kind of a toss-up at that point, really. I would say defense probably had the upper hand, but honestly, games that do have the upper hand on defense, like 2K19, 2K20, they are very enjoyable in terms of having good balance, rewarding offensive players for actually being good, because when there's so much inflation, so much oversaturation of great offensive players in this game, it makes the really good ones not stand out as much as they originally did in other games. And that's just how I feel. And while that may make the actual really elite defensive players stand out on these newer games, I will say, as just a basis of being a lockdown defender, a lot of you guys out here who follow me on this YouTube stuff are probably lockdown defenders as well, where you guys have picked up on my channel, whether you're a big man or a lock, or maybe you're a guard who just like the intuition stuff from 2K20, whatever the case may be. You probably enjoy playing defense, and in this game, in a general sense, it's very frustrating to play defense, especially if you're a novice who isn't really putting in like 15 hours you know, I almost said daily, but I'm definitely not doing that. If you're someone who's not putting in like 6 to 7 hours a day actually trying to like get better at the game and maybe training up for like pro-am and stuff like that, because I do intend to try and make the league this year and all types of stuff like that. I want to showcase my skill, and realistically not everybody is like that, and I do understand and acknowledge that. And I think a lot of the game developers need to kind of reference the fact that even if I'm playing good defense and I have developed a good strategy, not everybody is watching my videos in the first place, and not everybody can take that and really translate it to their gameplay either. So this is how I feel. I think we do need a defensive buff. I feel like the playmaking shot creator isn't really the problem. I think the defense is. I personally do feel like if we were to keep up a little bit better on the perimeter defense and actually be able to use things like clamps to our advantage in terms of boosting lateral quickness, then you'd see a big increase in defensive play. And at that point too, then if you can keep up with the playmaking shot creators, their lack of finishing shines through at the fact that if you're keeping up with them on the 3 and leading them to the paint, then just like that, they have nothing, they have no means of scoring. Just like back in the day with 2K20 when you run playmaking shot creators off the 3 and play for chase downs. Simple. And that was a great balance. So that's how I feel. I know this is probably, I would say this is a decent length video. I was assuming it would be short, but then I went on a super rant. But anyway, that's off video. I hope y'all enjoyed this discussion. I want to do more videos like this to kind of just talk about controversial things in the community, give my opinion on it, give you guys some insight on it, maybe plug other videos that I've been showcasing how to defend stuff like this, for instance. But anyway, that's all for the vid. If you made it to the end, put play in the comments to show support's made all the way through, or if you absolutely despise the playmaking shot creators, want nothing to do with it in the comments, put D in the comments to show support's made all the way through. Other than that, man, leave your feedback in the comments, let me know what you think, and hope y'all enjoyed. Take it easy, man. Peace.